Well, just you know what? Let's talk boxing. Let's
do it.
let's have some fun. Let's have some
Let's
fun.
do it.
So I always picked Spence to beat Crawford.
Okay.
I always thought that. But after the accident, I switched over to Crawford. And then I saw him perform against Danny Garcia. I was like, wait a minute, I think he's still good. So I went back to Spence. And then he had eye surgery. Is this guy the same fighter that we saw against Porter? And
the thing with the eye, right? Like the eye thing, right? Unless you're thinking that the eye's not going to hold up during the fight, it doesn't affect his speed, his power, his leg movement. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand the eye thing, like where it's like, oh, is he going to be the same guy? The eye thing's not going to diminish him unless his eye just doesn't hold up. That's the only thing it could be, right?
The eye couldn't hold up. His vision could be blurred. He could have a trouble adjusting as far as the distance,
dimensions, and stuff like that.
There's a lot that plays into vision, man.
Okay, well, let's say though that we're gonna find out. That's why I'm glad that you guys fight is happening first, because I want to see how he performs against you guys. I don't want to when this fight happens to have any excuses or any reasons why. I want to see who the best guy is. I'm really curious on that.
If Errol Spence blasts out Ugas in second round, and dominates him, I'm picking Spence.
Okay,
I'm picking Spence.
So
and if you want, we can go back and forth on that.
Yeah. Here's my thought process on why I pick Crawford. Spence's style, whether everyone wants to say that, I heard Fulton say that he's just technically better than Crawford. I don't believe that. I don't buy that at all. I think that he's a come forward fighter. He's a volume puncher, right? He's gonna put pressure on you, and he's there to break you down. That's really what he's doing. He's there to break you down. He throws a lot of shots he could get. I think the best thing he does is he finds range for his punches. He's able to create range for his punches better than probably any fighter I've ever seen. He could create range for body shots where he's right in on you, and he creates the range so where he could get all the power in his body shot. But the problem is when he fights Crawford is you can't give him that many looks. You can't just keep coming forward to him. You can't just say, I'm going to go towards you, I'm going to go towards you, and Crawford's not going to catch you because Crawford's pinpoint. And he starts to break you down, and he starts to see the openings. So I don't think that Spence is going to be able to come forward the whole night without Crawford eventually breaking him down with big shots. Now, I think that Spence will probably have to box more in that fight. I think that's going to be the surprising thing. It's going to look a lot more like the Mikey Garcia fight, where he boxes more. He's more, he's a little bit more cautious with his punches. He's a little bit more selective of when he attacks. I think that's more realistic to me than him just going in there and going to war with Crawford. You don't do that with elite guys like that. They could catch you like that. It's just not going to happen. The punch output is going to go down. It's going to be a more technical fight, and I think that he's going to have to kind of try to win a decision in that fight. I don't think he's going to break down Crawford. I don't believe that at all. I think that if he does that style, Crawford will catch him.
Again, we're going to go with the assumption that Spence is healthy. So all my arguments, just remember, I'm going off the assumption Spence is 100% healthy.
Okay.
Spence is taller and naturally bigger. He's also he's a great body puncher. I feel like that's very unspoken how great of a body puncher Errol Spence is.
Yeah, amazing body puncher.
And Terence Crawford, although I was literally just saying how much of a fan I was, so I'm not going to take this with a grain of salt. He does get hit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he believes his offense.
Especially in the earlier rounds. Now, you can get away with that when you're doing Jose Benavidez and Igas Velasquez, who I think dropped Crawford. It just wasn't cold. Cal Brook. You can get away with these guys, but you're not going to get away with that with Errol Spence. So what I do think is in the earlier rounds, Errol Spence is going to attack that body. And yes, he's going to be breaking him down. And when Crawford wants to open up in the later rounds, it might be too late. Remember, Spence has experience against Porter and Algieri and what's the other guy's name? I'm forgetting the name. Danny Garcia. That's what I was trying to think. And so he has more experience against higher level of competition. Crawford doesn't have these experiences. He's going to have to answer questions that he's never had to answer before when he's facing another elite fighter. And this is one of the elite. Well, he's the elite. He's the one with the most belts currently in the welterweight division. Somebody who may have 3 belts when it all said and done.
Let's go off of what's Spence's. Let's go his track record, right? He's got Danny Garcia, right, undersized 147. Okay, you got Mikey Garcia, undersized 147. You got Porter, who's not a big power puncher at 147. And who am I missing? Kell Brook, right? I think Kell Brook might be the best fighter of all the guys I just named.
No, Kell Brook in his home country.
Yes, I agree. And that was a great win. That's his best win, to my personal opinion. That's his best win. Okay. But the other guys are not big power punchers. And you know what the other guys did? They landed. They did land on him. It wasn't like he's unhittable. It's not like he's unhittable. Because of his style, he's going to be hittable. And because of Crawford's style, he's going to be hittable. But the thing is that Crawford can fight going backwards. I don't think a lot of those guys can. I think Danny Garcia has to be set. I think Porter has to come forward. I think Mikey Garcia was just undersized. He was just
Mikey Garcia, he moved up 2 weight classes.
Yeah. But Kell Brook has some success moving backwards in that fight, and he has some success picking shots. And I think Kell Brook has a similar style to Terence Crawford, but without the devastating pinpoint accuracy and without the lights out power that I think Crawford has. So I think that yes, Spence has done good work and he's fought some names, but then you start looking at those names and it's like, okay, wait a minute, right? It wasn't Keith Thurman, right? It wasn't Manny Pacquiao. I think Ugas is the biggest guy he's going to face that's actually in that weight class, right? It's with the actual size that's comparable to him.
But I can make the same argument about Crawford. His best win is Sean Porter, who retired afterwards, who his father before the fight said he didn't prepare well. And then his next best win, who is it? What? Ricky Burns? Victor Postol?
Next best win is probably Postol.
Postol, which, his Postol's biggest win is Matisse, who in retrospect was done at that time when he lost.
But to be fair, Postol probably beat Ramirez, didn't get the scorecard, but to me, in my personal opinion, I think he beat Ramirez.